Likability isn't a matter of eloquence, it's a matter of direction. Because every conversation begins on a stage with only one spotlight. Most people keep that spotlight fixed on themselves. We believe the more that light shines on us, the more the other person will like us. Psychology says the opposite. People remember longer the ones who gave the light away, not the ones who kept it. The heart doesn't come with an instruction manual. This channel is where we write one lesson at a time. If you don't want to miss it, go ahead and subscribe now. There was probably someone at an office happy hour who barely spoke, yet you kept wanting to stay near. A Harvard research team looked into why using fMRI scans. When people talked about themselves, a specific region of the brain lit up. That region was the same one activated by eating delicious food. But the truly surprising fact was hidden in what happened after the light went off. The brain doesn't store the emotion of a moment on its own. It stores the person who lit that emotion right along with it. So someone who listened to your story gets stamped in your brain as a good person without you even realizing it. Not because they spoke well, simply because they were standing there the moment you were shining. So how do likable people stand on this stage? Likable people all do one thing in common. Most people fix the spotlight on themselves, but these people just turn that light, ever so slightly, toward the other person. You've probably flipped that switch the other way yourself, without noticing. The first technique begins with something as small as mirroring in conversation. Psychology calls this the chameleon effect. People unconsciously feel comfortable around someone who carries a similar wavelength of light. The moment your own words come back to you, your brain registers that this person is standing under the same light. This isn't a calculated response, it happens on its own. But in everyday life, we often turn that light in the wrong direction. A coworker says, "I've been so busy prepping for a job change lately." You've probably said something like, "Oh, I remember how hard that was for me too," pulling the spotlight right back to yourself. There's no bad intention, but the other person ends up feeling pushed off the stage. It's easy for them to think you were just waiting for your turn. So how do genuinely likable people handle it instead? A likable person turns the light gently toward the other person. That must be exhausting, prepping for a career change. Without adding a single word about themselves, they simply reflect the other person's words back. That's all it takes. People remember longer the ones who made them shine, not the ones who thought the same way they did. But this one small act actually carries a much bigger meaning. We think of conversation as an exchange of words, but conversation is really an exchange of places. What moves a person isn't the amount of light, it's the direction. People remember for a long time whoever gave that direction to them. So here's the second technique, a method for giving that direction away. Why is a request easier to hear than a command? A command takes away the other person's switch. A request gives that switch back. Finish this today. The closer the relationship, the more naturally this tone slips out and dims the light. Could you get this done by today? Just changing it to that is enough. The content is the same, but the brightness the other person feels is completely different. The core task being conveyed is exactly the same. People don't move because they want to grant a request. They move because they want to stand there by their own choice. And yet, even knowing this, we still default to a tone that dims the light. We make this mistake most with the people closest to us. The closer and more comfortable the relationship, the more carelessly we handle the light. With family and partners, we're the least likely to use a requesting tone. These are the relationships that deserve the most respect, yet, because we're comfortable, we've left them at the lowest setting. Changing just your tone can stop that crack from forming. Now, on to the third technique, the focus of the light. Why do some compliments fade instantly, while others stay in the heart? Most compliments only pretend to turn the light on. You did a great job presenting. A generic light anyone could switch on for anyone. Detail is what focuses that light precisely. The way you led with the numbers earlier was a brilliant move. In that moment, the look in their eyes will completely change. People don't love compliments. They love the ones who focus the light exactly where it belongs. They're moved when someone notices the struggle behind the process. Real light is needed in the process, not just the result. People feel deep connection with someone who focuses on them precisely. The fourth technique is moving light into the shadowed places. We know it. The more we share the light, the more people like us. And yet, we still can't let that light go. It isn't selfishness, it's the fear of disappearing. But people remember, not the ones who clung to their own light, but the ones who lit someone else's. The light was never mine to keep. It was always a matter of direction. Once I start something, I can't stop until it's done. It's exhausting, honestly. Most people just pass by that shadowed spot. A likable person shines the warmest light exactly where the other person wanted to hide. That just means you're someone who follows through and gets things done properly. How does this one line move the other person's heart? People don't love being spoken well of. They remember longest the person who confirmed a version of themselves they hadn't even known. This is far more powerful than a simple, pleasant compliment, because it confirms the identity they were hoping to reach. The fifth technique is keeping the light on longer. I just got a certification. Oh, nice. And the light goes out right there. The conversation goes dark. How long did it take? What was the hardest part? And the light turns back on. Harvard research also found that follow-up questions significantly raised likability. But depending on the kind of question, that light can end up blinding instead. Questions like, where do you live? How old are you? Feel less like light and more like an interrogation lamp. To the other person, it feels like being handed a questionnaire. Questions about emotion, on the other hand, sink deep into the heart. People aren't answering a question, they're discovering themselves in that light. But even the best light can go out in an instant if used the wrong way. Many people slip advice in right after a compliment. It seems clever, but this light hides a fatal switch. It's likely to leave the other person feeling betrayed and distrustful. The bright spot they were shown before suddenly feels like a lie. Let's look at the one word behind that switch. The word but, tacked onto a compliment, is an incredibly powerful switch. This one word can instantly turn off all the light that came before it. People don't remember bad words for long. They remember far longer the bad word hidden behind a good one. In the end, they conclude the compliment was manufactured just to deliver the criticism. Here's the simplest way to avoid this trap. The answer is simple. Separate the sentence that turns the light on from the sentence that shines elsewhere. The way you structured this report's flow was genuinely impressive. Leave that entirely as the light. The data on page 3 could use a bit more support. Deliver that separately, as a plain fact. That removes any room for a but to slip in between. People don't dislike advice. They dislike advice given before they felt understood. People believe in safety before they believe in truth. No matter how right something is, without safety, it feels like a threat. This isn't about a specific situation. It's how human beings are built. The mind only opens on top of safety. So, what do the lights we switch off without noticing look like? We've all wrapped up someone's excited story with a flat, "Oh really?" at some point. Sometimes we cut in with our own experience before the other person even finishes talking. I've been through that too, I know. Here's your real problem, disguised as comfort, but really just switching our own light back on. We don't fall apart because we lack an answer. We fall apart because no one turns the light our way. So how does the world's greatest master of light speak? Over the past several decades, Oprah Winfrey has shone light on tens of thousands of stages. She isn't famous simply for being a good listener. It's because she knew exactly where to focus the light. Her questions carry a very specific direction. Let's see how that light treats fact differently from emotion. What happened? That question lights up the whole stage. What did that moment mean to you? That's different. It focuses the light on the real emotion hidden inside the facts. A good question doesn't demand an answer. It lets the other person see, in their own light, a part of themselves. Now let's sum up the essence of the conversation we should move toward. In the end, all 6 habits were the same technique. Moving the light from yourself to the other person. Mirroring, requesting, complimenting, reframing, questioning, staying silent. All just the same switch, pressed in different ways. Under that light, the other person comes to like themselves a little more. And finally, there's one thing we should remember. People remember, longer than the actor on the stage, the one who shone the light on them. Not because they spoke well, but because they let them stand there, bright, in that moment. Have you shown your light on someone else's stage recently? Maybe a good conversation is simply this: quietly holding the light so someone else can discover their own. A relationship is 2 lights meeting. The moment you compete over whose is brighter, the light dims. People remember the ones who shone light on them. And the deepest relationships are the ones where that memory is no longer even needed. A good relationship is one where no one remembers who was lighting whom.